Our team is heading to Africa for the first time. First, we face the difficult task of navigating our way out of the heavy traffic of a major city.
Žádný blinker, nic, prostě se najednou rozjede auto.
Nearly 39 million people live in the Kingdom of Morocco, the vast majority of whom are Arabs or Arabized Berbers who practice Islam. We are in Fez, the third most populous city in Morocco. At the market, we buy supplies of bottled water, as a long journey north to the Rif Mountains awaits us. Google Maps has decided to make our trip a bit more adventurous by leading us along an unpaved road. Well, at least we get a glimpse of life in the Moroccan countryside. The sun is already setting, and crowds of children are streaming along the road on their way home from school. We also encounter some modestly overloaded trucks. Finally, we arrive. Without delay, we head into the field.
Ano.
Sahara frogs calls from a pond. Our main target, however, are the salamanders. And in the very first pool, we find several larvae. Only 4 species of salamanders and newts occur in Africa, and they are found exclusively in Morocco, Algeria, and Tunisia. This is a juvenile of one of them, the African fire salamander. In the moist vegetation, we also encounter the Moroccan painted frog. It is a local endemic and one of 5 representatives of the evolutionarily ancient genus Discoglossus. Its closest relatives can be found on the Iberian Peninsula, in France, Sicily, Sardinia, and Corsica. we continue into the pine forest. Before long, we find an adult African fire salamander of the subspecies splendens. At first glance, the difference from our European fire salamanders is obvious. Bright red spots scattered across the body combine with the traditional yellow markings. We wake up to a beautiful day near the famous blue city of Chefchaouen. Our hosts have prepared an excellent breakfast made from local products, and of course, traditional green tea with Moroccan mint. We return to yesterday's salamander site to see it in daylight. The African fire salamanders here live in what appears at first sight to be an atypically habitat for them, a dry pine forest. However, springs flowing from the mountains provide the forest with the necessary moisture and create suitable conditions for salamander larvae. I unsuccessfully search a nearby scree slope for reptiles. Surprisingly, however, we find our first reptiles in the water. They are Mediterranean pond turtles, which we already encountered 2 years ago during our expedition to Andalusia. On the bank sits another old acquaintance from the same expedition, the Mediterranean tree frog. Even during the day, Sahara frogs can be heard calling from the pond. To avoid spreading amphibian diseases between sites, we regularly disinfect our shoes. In the afternoon, we head into the Blue City. The Medina, historic center of Chefchaouen, is full of vendors selling traditional clothing and carpets, ceramics, and spices. This is Ota El Hammam Square, where numerous restaurants can be found. This is where Moroccan Nutella made from almonds is produced.
Mohammed, nice to meet you.
Monsieur, welcome.
A local vendor, Mohammed, asked us for a little promotion of his products. So, if you ever decide you want a traditional Moroccan carpet, you know who to contact.
So your wife did this?
Yes. This one. Come here.
Mohammed also revealed that if you arrive with a guide, a carpet will cost 2,000 dirhams, but only 1,000 without. Finally, we enjoy a three-course meal, including traditional tagine, a dish prepared in a characteristic ceramic pot. At a roadside rest area, we recharge with coffee and try some quick herping nearby. Besides several agile lizards, we also find a spur-thighed tortoise, which was probably already looking for a place to spend the night. The tortoise's size and the condition of its shell indicate a respectable age of this specimen. The sun is setting, and we are heading for another subspecies of African salamander. Along the way, we encounter large numbers of migrating Mediterranean tree frogs. Unfortunately, a road lies between their wintering grounds and the lake they travel to each year for breeding. Although the road is not heavily trafficked, the frogs still risk their lives here. Some, unfortunately, end up like this. The salamanders are not going anywhere, so we spend some time carrying tree frogs safely across the road. The consequences of recent torrential rains make our journey somewhat more difficult. Eroded soil is sliding downhill, and in some places it has taken a considerable portion of the road with it. And when we are only 2 kilometers from our destination, we encounter a huge landslide.
Manuele.
But we are not ready to give up so easily, so we continue on foot.
No, lasy budou chvíli odklízet. Na asfaltu.
We encounter a scorpion of the genus Buthus, whose chitinous exoskeleton glows beautifully under ultraviolet light. This lichen also changes color. A little farther along the road, we come across a Berber toad. As you can see, it is not particularly pleased to meet us. In the end, however, it poses a little better for the camera. At last, we arrive at the site. Larvae in the water indicate that we are in the right place. A little farther away, among oak leaves, we find adult African fire salamanders of the subspecies Tingatana. Compared to other subspecies, they usually lack red coloration and have small raised warts across the body. Some northern populations of the subspecies Tingatana are also unique in giving birth to fully metamorphosed young rather than larvae. Another objective completed. In the morning, our surroundings are shrouded in low clouds. Today, we have traveled to the opposite side of the mountain into Talassumtane National Park. We buy freshly baked bread directly beside the road.
Vezmem určitě.
5.
Kolik chce? 3, 5.
5.
5. 4 gram. 4. 4 nám dej.
4 كتشيك 4 أعراف هو هزين بيدوه
Půl metru.
هذه ولا
This time, we are not looking for salamanders, but for someone evolutionarily much closer to us. The river has carved a deep canyon with steep rock walls. A canyon that has become home to Barbary macaques. Barbary macaques live in the mountains of Morocco and Algeria, but also on Gibraltar, making them the only free-ranging wild monkeys in Europe. All other macaque species occur much farther away in South and Southeast Asia. Barbary macaques have thick fur that protects them from the cold during winter. They are excellent climbers and move effortlessly through the treetops and across rocky terrain. They are not picky eaters and feed on almost anything they can find. Today, the Barbary macaque is an endangered species, mainly due to habitat loss. Individuals in the local population live in close proximity to humans, but they are shy and avoid direct contact. Toward evening, the wind dies down somewhat, and in the last rays of sunlight, we try searching for reptiles. The habitat looks ideal, but here in the mountains it is still rather early in the season, and reptile activity is not yet very high. In the end, we at least encounter several Moorish geckos. It is time to say goodbye to the Blue City and head south. of us lies the Middle Atlas mountain range. As we approach another salamander locality, we are surprised to find patches of snow on the northern slope.
Co říkáš?
To děláme expedice. Co jdeš vycet na mačvoka?
Low temperatures do not bother African fire salamanders, and we find our first representative of the subspecies Atlantica right beside the road. As you can see, even the remaining snow does not trouble them. There are dozens of salamander larvae in a flooded roadside ditch. Judging by her swollen abdomen, this female is still waiting to give birth to larvae. Some individuals of the subspecies Atlantica display very striking red coloration. The night is still young, so we can explore yet another locality. Once again, we encounter a Berber toad, and this individual is no happier to see us than the previous one. The species we were hoping to find crosses our path entirely by chance. The Moroccan midwife toad is one of the most endangered species of frogs in Morocco and within its genus. Male midwife toads are famous for carrying eggs attached to their hind legs, as you can see in this common midwife toad that we encountered during an expedition in northern Spain. Shortly before the tadpoles hatch, the male carries the eggs to water. Besides habitat loss, Moroccan midwife toads are also threatened by the aggressive fungal disease chytridiomycosis. This is the main reason we disinfect our footwear between sites. In the morning, our hotel room offers a beautiful view of the surrounding landscape. we drive out to take a closer look at the habitat in which the salamanders live. Salamanders of the subspecies Atlantica were separated from the subspecies splendens only recently, in 2019, based on genetic studies. The swollen cloaca reveals that this individual is a male. As temperatures rise, the salamanders retreat back into their underground shelters. Local people cultivate even very small fields in this challenging terrain, and they still use primitive wooden tools. We often imagine Morocco as a very dry land, but here in the mountains, water is abundant. The sun is already high above the horizon and is drawing lizards out for basking. This is the Andalusian wall lizard, which, as its name suggests, also occurs in southern Spain. We set off to search for more interesting places. The landscape here seems made for reptiles. Colorful Moroccan rock lizards bask on the rocks. They are fairly shy, but with a little caution, they allow us to approach close enough with the camera. Water from frequent rains has sculpted remarkable formations on the hillside. Even Moorish geckos cannot resist the sunshine, despite being primarily nocturnal later in spring. Among the shrubs surrounding the eroded slope move agile and wary Algerian samodromus. We round off our lizard collection with a red-tailed, spiny-footed lizard. This one is already an adult and has long since lost the red tail coloration characteristic of juveniles. It is time to move on. From the car, we spot a snake basking beneath a rock overhang. The characteristic horseshoe-shaped markings reveal it to be a horseshoe whip snake. It is a non-venomous colubrid snake that feeds on rodents and lizards. Its scientific genus name, Hemorrhois, literally means something like flowing blood. It probably refers more to the occasionally vivid red coloration and speed of these snakes than to the fact that more than one herpetologist has been left slightly bleeding after handling them. A reclining crescent moon hangs in the sky, and our final night in the field awaits. Once again, we encounter the Moroccan painted frog, this time a more brightly colored individual. But we want to see African salamanders one last time. And several of them truly seem to have come to say goodbye. Our goal was achieved. However, today we have shown you only a small fraction of Morocco's diverse landscapes and its inhabitants. Who knows? Perhaps next time we will venture into the desert regions in search of colorful, spiny-tailed lizards and horned vipers. Until next time in Morocco.